Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to start off by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwadash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. A sincere Shalom to the hopeful elect that's out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom to you all. Alright, so today I want to go into this article. It says, layoffs are piling up, raising worker anxiety. Here are some companies that have cut jobs recently. Alright, as you can see by the depiction, we got Amazon, alright, which is one of the biggest ones out there. We got Target, Lufthansa, whatever it's called. UPS, Conoco, Intel, Microsoft, P&G, Nestle. Okay, amongst many others, man, because this thing is has been an ongoing process. Throughout the years. Especially this year and last year, there's been a lot of layoffs, man. All right, but the point is that it's intensifying, man. It's becoming more frequent. A lot more people are being without jobs. Under here it says this undated combination of photos shows clock. Okay, we don't need to go into that. All right, let's jump right into the article. It says New York AP, it's a tough time to be looking for a job. Amid wider economic uncertainty, some analysts have said that businesses are at a no hire, no fire standstill. Right, so they don't fire anybody, new people can't get jobs. It says that's caused many to limit new work to only a few specific roles, if not pause openings entirely. At the same time, sizable layoffs have continued to pile up, raising worker anxieties across sectors. Yeah, man. So these Babylonians are starting to feel the squeeze, man. You're starting to see that this American dream, all right, is really the American nightmare, man. This shit was never meant to be our rest, Yasharallah. All right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites of the Bible. Okay, and a lot of you out there have made America your home. You made your bed here. Okay, and the scriptures tells us to come out of her spiritually, meaning to have your hope in the Lord, in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai, in the things that are not seen. You see? So, hey, a lot of you that were hell bent on getting these degrees, man, a lot of you can't even get a job at McDonald's right now because the shit is getting so bad. All right, let's see what else is going into. Yep, they're talking about the tariffs. It says some companies have pointed to rising operational costs spanning from President Donald Trump's barrage of new tariffs and shifts in consumer spending. Others cite corporate restructuring more broadly, or as seen with big names like Amazon, are redirecting money for artificial intelligence. Boom, you see? All right, and that's all part of that NWO agenda, man. You're going to have AI taking over not only people's jobs, all right? AI is going to play many roles in the NWO, man. All right, but a lot of you people are getting replaced by artificial intelligence. All right? All right, it says federal employees have encountered additional doses of uncertainty impacting workers' sentiment around the job market overall. Shortly after Trump returned to office at the start of the year, federal jobs were cut by the thousands, and the record 43-day government shutdown also left many to work without paychecks. All right, so as you can see, this economy, the Lord is chipping away at this economy, man. The Lord is causing America to die slow and painfully. All right, this economy is going down the toilet, but it's going down in a very slow and painful way. All right. Even though it is very fast, if you look at it, For the people just, living day by day. Those of you that made your bed here is pure hell, man. You know? It says the impasse put key economic data on hold too. In a delayed report released Thursday, the Labor Department said U.S. employers added a surprising 119,000 jobs in September, but unemployment rose to 4.4%. You see, so they saying they adding all these jobs. They telling you, oh, the economy is great, it's fine, everything's fine. All right, but what do you see? Okay, the unemployment going up, showing you doesn't matter how many jobs they add, man, because they're not really adding jobs. There's a thing called ghost jobs, which is why I pulled up this article here. It says ghost jobs exposed. The companies posting fake job listings with proof. All right, this was November 12th, 2025. All right. All right, here we go. The title of this section, it says the shocking numbers behind ghost jobs. The scope of this problem is staggering, according to a 2025 study by Greenhouse, a major hiring platform. Between 18% and 22% of all online job postings are ghost jobs. That means roughly 1 in 5 job listings you see is completely fake. And it gets worse, right? And you can go into that article yourself if you want, man. All right, but they adding, these fake jobs so they could just say that, oh, the economy is great. All right, but hey, they don't want you people to know, hey, this system's about to change very quick, man. That NWO is getting ready to be pushed because they need to take the people, put them in a tight spot, destroy the old system so they can get the new system set up. Okay, with digital IDs, AI surveillance and governance and social credit scores and ultimately complete and total control of the people, and that chip being inserted underneath the skin, man. All right, for buying and selling. This is where it's all heading. Okay, and it starts with putting you people on universal high income, man. All right, instead of which I believe that's what this article is. Yeah, it says universal basic income or universal high income, right? Which is what Elon Musk coined it, universal high income. And remember, Elon Musk is the guy who invented the brain chip, right? That's the mark that goes in the forehead. Okay, this was in 2024. So, they've been talking about these things for a long time, and we've brought out articles about universal high income before. Okay, and we'll just read this first part so you can see what spirit is on these people, man. All right, the very positive scenario of AI is actually in a lot of ways the description of heaven, in that really nobody would need to work. I wouldn't even call it universal basic income. I would say it's probably universal high income, right? That's what Elon Musk is telling you. But he's the devil, man. Like the scriptures say, never trust thine enemy. This is Sirach chapter 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Right? And they lying to you about these jobs. Oh, the job market is great. Right? They got these ghost jobs. Oh, AI is great. You don't have to work anymore. But it's all a trap. They're going to move you people to that digital system. All right? Yeah, you ain't got to work to get that income. But guess what? You're going to have to adhere to the philosophies, all right, of America. Okay? You're going to have to worship the beast in his image. Right? All right? And the image speaks through its philosophies, man. Okay? We've gone into these wicked philosophies before, man. But let's go down real quick. These are the companies. You got Verizon, right, laying off more than 13,000 employees. General Motors, 1,700 employees. All right, Paramount, 1,000 employees, 2,000 employees. Right. So it started with 1,000. Now they want to do 2,000. Is what I'm seeing there. Amazon, 14,000 jobs cut. UPS, 48,000 job cuts. Target, 1,800 corporate positions cut. Nestle, 16,000 jobs. Lufthansa Group, 4,000 jobs. Right? And some of these haven't happened yet, but this is what they're planning. Right? And it said, look what it says here, pointing to the adoption of artificial intelligence, digitalization, and consolidating work among member airlines. All right, 9,000 jobs. Okay, so this is what they're planning to do. Some of it they've already started, and some of it they look at this one. Intel end of the year with 75,000 core workers. Hang on. That's how many they got. It don't matter. The point is they're cutting jobs. They're planning on cutting more. They've been cutting jobs, and they're gonna be cutting a lot more. All right, so that's it with that article, man. Let's listen to what these people got to say out here. These are everyday people who's losing their jobs. This one was uploaded the 11th of November.
I got laid off from Amazon 2 weeks ago today. I received an email at like 5:48 a.m. in the morning saying, unfortunately, your role has been eliminated. And it was honestly just like the biggest shock and biggest wake-up call for myself. I woke up that morning and I just treated it like another day. And when I logged into my laptop, I was completely locked out. I was like, maybe I'm just like putting in the password wrong. I have no idea what's going on. That's when I decided to like check my cell phone. There was a text that I got that said like, before you go into work, please check your personal email for recent updates to your job. And I was like, no fucking way. After 5.5 years, I got a text and I got an email. But there were people that had been there for 20 years, 13 years, 11 years that got the exact same email that I did. To figure out this way is so dehumanizing, and honestly, I'm just like so angry. I found out I got laid off at 9 a.m. and I didn't hear anything from my manager until like 12:30 p.m. because that's when he supposedly learned. Through this, I was honestly just like so disappointed in myself for knowing better than to give my full self to this job. Companies just like really see you as a number, and they really don't care about you, and that's okay. At the end of the day, I learned that this is just...
Hey, and that's Eve, man. Eve sold her soul to Esau, man. Right? She didn't want to get a man, you know, shaving her head bald, acting like a man. Look at her, man. Lost that job. And that's happened to a lot of these Eves, man. A lot of these females are going down now. You see, they're getting humble. All right? But it's going to get worse. This is only the beginning. All right? And it's not just Eve. You got Edomites. You got, you got all types of people, man. Israelites, Edomites, fucking these heathens. Everybody's, getting laid off, man. All right? See, and people... And what makes me laugh, man, is how people put this shit on the internet, man. You see? Fucking Sheetamite putting her face out there like, oh, look at me, I'm so sad, I'm crying. Like, what is the point of doing that? You know, but hey, hey, it was the Lord's will, so we can make this video.
Listen, if you are job hunting,
this was 4 days ago.
I need you to hear this. Layoffs are real. The hiring process is slowing down. But this does not mean that you don't need...
Yeah, this was 8 hours ago. 13,000 people got laid off.
There are more layoffs announced in October than in any October since 2003. And we've also hit 1 million layoffs all year. Do you know the last time we had more than 1 million layoffs in 2020? How about before that, Nick? 2008 and 2009. How about before that, 2001?
In 2008 and 2009, that's around that time that that housing market crisis happened. You know, you had a recession, the Great Recession. And then you go all the way back to 1929 or 28. It was the Great Depression. Okay, so yeah, we're getting ready to come into some low times, man. Not just for jobs, but you see these prices going up, rent going up, everything going up. Wages ain't going up. And now you can't even keep your goddamn job, man. You see, so the Lord is closing shop here in America, man. This place is finished.
What do all of these things have in common? We are in a deep,
This
deep
place is
recession.
finished,
And the only
man.
thing holding any water right now is a bunch of tech companies swapping money repeatedly. Hell, most of it's debt, but if you're like me and you're an accountant and you like to look at balance sheets sometimes, you will regret it immediately. Because a monkey could look at these balance sheets and see that these companies are full of shit. Sam Altman was asked how a company with only a couple $1 billion in revenue can live up to over $1 trillion in commitments, and he had literally no answer. He was like, okay, sell your share. Most insane shit I've ever heard. Now he wants his company to
6 days ago, I posted a video on TikTok that went viral about being laid off from CBS, along with all my other colleagues of color, while the white producers on my team were reassigned. And I've been struggling to figure out what to say, how to capitalize on this attention that I have in this moment, because I recognize that media is a business of attention, and your attention is precious. Assuming that I still have it, I just want to say that I am grieving the end of a relationship with a company that I devoted 5 cumulative years of my life to, and up until this occurred, I thought that...
Hey, that's why we tell y'all, man, and this truth. Hey, just work just to get by, man. Just do what you got to do. Hey, the scripture says, feed me with food convenient for me. All right, we're not over here busting our asses trying to be the top guy at a job, trying to get recognition, going above and behind. Fuck that shit, man. Just do enough to keep the boss, from breathing down your neck and get your ass home, Because at the end of the day, man, America's a stack of cards. The rug's getting ready to get pulled out from underneath this place. And those of you that made your bed here, look, you're on the internet crying. We told you, Jake, we told you it doesn't matter how hard you work. They're not going to recognize your talent. All right? They're just going to use you, chew you up and spit you out. Okay? And so why would you want to make your bed here, man? Why would you want to trust in oppression? That's what this whole system is run on. I bet you Jake has contributed the most, but then they're over here kicking him out like, who cares, You see, that's how it is, man. That's how it is here in Babylon, man. And call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai that this place is getting destroyed, man. The Lord is getting ready to bring judgment, man.
I just got laid off from my job at CBS, and every producer on my team who got laid off is a person of color. Every person who gets to stay and will be relocated within the company is a white person.
Yep.
Now, in my meeting with the executive who told me I was getting laid off, I specifically asked him if it was a consideration for us to be relocated somewhere else within the company, and he said that we advocated to keep the show. We advocated to try to get you relocated somewhere, and we couldn't. Because I asked him, why are you...
So at the end of the day, man, they're going to start kicking out Jake first, all right? But, hey, eventually it's going to catch up with Esau. Esau's going to get their asses kicked out of these jobs, all right? Judgment starts at the house of Israel, man, so that's the same trend we're seeing with Jacob's trouble, all right? It starts with Jake, but then it's going to really become everybody's trouble, man, very soon, man. So, hey, these devils are going to get their just dues, man.
The person who is making this decision or delivering the news that we're being laid off. And he said, it could have been anyone. Only to later find out, because it wasn't until I went downstairs thinking that me and all of my colleagues had been laid off that I found out that it was only the people of color. So I went one by one to my white colleagues. Are you getting laid off? No. 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 So I went back up to his office and I told him, I think you lied to my face. And come to find out, it was not his decision to eliminate the show that I work for.
But yeah, that's it on that, man. I just wanted y'all to see all these job cuts. This is the trend right now, man. All right? And that's all part of Esau's plan to bring in this NWO, man. They got to back you people into a wall. All right? If you don't have a way to work, you have to depend on what? On them to give you that universal basic income. All right? Through what? Through digital IDs and ultimately a chip. Okay? This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, man. Devices is going into that evil scheme or evil plans. All right? So we're not ignorant of it, man. We know that that's ultimately the goal. That's why we never invested in this place, man. We do just enough to get by, just enough to keep the plantation job going, so we can pay our bills, keep making videos, keep going to the highways and byways, continue to be in that sweet spot of not having poverty nor riches. All right, because ultimately the goal is to receive salvation. And like that video I made, the Lord's going to award us with compensation, man, for what these devils have done, man. So the Lord is going to multiply our blessings in the kingdom, man. We're going to receive 100-fold for everything that we gave in this truth, man. All the things we gave up to be in this truth and to fight this good fight of faith. All right? Enduring hardness as a good soldier. That's what we're called to do, man. And it's hard, man. Okay, but all these things we gave up, all this tribulation that's been put on us, all right, especially by the hands of these devils, all right, it's going to be paid back to us, man. All right, and we're also going to get that revenge, man. That's the beautiful thing, which is the good news, These devils are going to be in captivity, man. All right, so right now you see they're laying Jake off first. All right, they're laying the so-called black man and black woman off first. Okay? But eventually it's going to become Esau's trouble, man. We saw that one Edomite chick, crying her eyes out and shit. You see? Expect more of that, man. They're going to move all you people towards that digital system, man. All right, this is Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house, Salakia, I was trying to zoom in a little bit. Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease. The grinders represents the workers. The grinders cease because they are few, right? There's going to be few jobs left, man. And those that look out of the windows be darkened, right? The mirth is gone, man. Nobody out here is partying in America like they used to. They're not out here in that spirit of mirth. Everybody is mourning, man. All right, and we've been mourning, but we've been mourning with wisdom, man. We're not out here mourning because we don't know what the hell's going on. All right, we know what condition we're in, but we also got that hope, and that's what keeps us going. All right, and the darker this world gets, the brighter it gets for us, man, because we know that's one day closer to our enemy Esau's downfall, which is a very beautiful thing. All right, so we excited. This is exciting times, man. This is exciting times, Yasharallah. I pray more layoffs happen. Verse 4, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. That's right, the doors will be shut in the streets, man, because there's not going to be any more jobs. When the sound of the grinding is low, right? The sound of work is low, right? Grinding representing working. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, right? That rooster crowing, because your alarm clock's going to be waking you up. You're not going to be ready to go to work in the morning. You ain't going to have a job, right? And all the daughters of music shall be brought low, which, that's already happening on a high level now, man. This music going to shit. It's the same shit every year. Some mo shit, some degenerate bullshit. It's got no rhythm, auto-tune. You got all this technology and auto-tune, but the music is still garbage. You see, the Lord is closing shop, man. America's done. All right, Revelation 13 and verse 5 and verse 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak. And how does it speak? Through his philosophies, man. All right, this democracy, Mo rights, women's liberation, all these lies, this plantation Christianity, this white Jesus that they preach at the church, right? When we know the true image of the Lord, Right? And his true name is Yahushai. His true image is of a so-called black man. All right, but they changed it into a so-called white man. These Edomites. That's part of the philosophies, man. There's so many wicked philosophies spread worldwide, and lies and things that have people in a state of darkness, man. That's why the course, the foundations, or the course of things are all upside down. Roughly paraphrasing, man. This whole world is upside down, man. Right? This man has to be taken out of rulership. And for that to happen, prophecy has to progress and things have to get worse before they get better, man. That's just how it is. It's like a woman in travail. She wants that baby to come out. You know, she wants to give birth. But it's going to get worse before it gets better, right? But you know, once she gives birth to that baby, man, it's all uphill from there. You see, and same thing when Yahushua comes back, man. When Yahushua comes back and puts an end to this wicked-ass kingdom, we're going to be at peace. We're going to be at rest, man. You know, so this is beautiful times, man. Okay, but going back into it, verse 15, it continues, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed, right? And to worship is basically talking about obeying these philosophies and, you know, participating in these wicked things that America wants you to participate in. Okay? And, you know, the way they're going to cause you to be killed is through their social credit score system, you know, through their mass surveillance, through AI, you know, always watching you. Okay? And so if you speak out against this devil or you don't participate in, you know, these philosophies and just living the American way, well, guess what? They're going to cause your social credit score to go down. They're going to make it now so that you don't get your universal basic income. You see, they're putting you in a position to where you have to rely on them. All right? And, you know, they may bring jobs back once they bring that chip and the digital ID and all that. But now they got that chip or that digital ID. Well, first, Salakia, you know, I don't want to mix it up. First, the digital ID is going to come out. Then they're going to bring that chip. Which ultimately, both of those can be connected to that social credit system, you know. And, you know, they're just going to cause it to where, you know, if you don't obey, you know, the image of the beast, which is these philosophies, okay, you're going to lose your job, you're going to lose your universal basic income, and it's going to cause you to what? To be killed, all right? Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. That's right, man. Whether you're out here in the free world or bond, you know, in a prison somewhere, all right, they're going to push this on all the world, man. A mark is the RFID chip that goes in the hand and the chip that goes in the brain with Neuralink, Synchron, and all the other companies that are doing it. All right. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. That's right. So you won't be able to buy or sell without it. So if you don't do what they say, they just gonna, well, first of all, if you have the chip and you don't do what they say, they're gonna cause you to die. All right, but if you don't get the chip, which, you know, here at Great Millstone, we always tell you, don't get the chip. All right, and yeah, you Jakes out there, do not get the chip under any circumstances. Okay, and those of us who don't get the chip, yeah, we're not even gonna be able to be a part of society anymore at that point. All bets are off. You know, now we may end up having to get the digital ID, which is just an app on your phone or a physical card. Okay, but as soon as they tell you to put something underneath your skin, as soon as they tell you to get the chip, that's when all bets are off, man. And we're no longer going to be a part of this society. All right, that's when we just going to have to put all our faith in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh, man. You know? The Lord will guide us ultimately, man. We're going to be pilgrims on the earth, going from place to place. You know, we might not have food every day, but ultimately we will eat. The Lord will take care of us, man. All right, it's going to be a trial of our faith. Okay, he that endures to the end shall be saved. All right. This is Isaiah 30:1. Woe to the rebellious children, saith Yahweh, that take counsel, but not of me. Right? So they don't want to listen to the ways of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. They don't want to listen to the prophets, which is the Lord's mouthpiece. They don't want to take this counsel. They rather live the American way. You see? And what does woe mean? It means destruction. So that's what's coming to you wicked jakes, man, that relied on this system, man. Because you want to be Esau's lapdog, man. You want to live according to this man's ways, trust in his system, worship your boss, and thinking that, oh yeah, my career, that's what makes me. And look at you, now you're losing your careers, man. It was all a facade. You see? Never trust thine enemy, man. All right? But it continues, that take counsel but not of me, and that cover with a covering but not of my spirit, that they may add sin unto sin. Yeah. Our people going to Esau, relying on this system so they could keep being wicked and stuff like that, man. But, ultimately, the Lord's going to have the last laugh, man. Verse 2, that walk to go down into Egypt, right, which is America, and have not asked at my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh, and to trust in the shadow of Egypt. That's right, man, because America is such a wealthy nation, right? Everything's cheap, right? Or so it used to be. Things used to be good, man. You could work your job, buy food for cheap, travel from here to there, you could go out and party. You could take a plane to another country and live like a king for a while, right? Trusting in Egypt, trusting in Pharaoh, right? That's how our people were, right? And that's the spirit all these Babylonians are in, man. All right, but destruction is coming. Destruction is coming, man. All right, a lot of you people are going to lose your jobs and you're just going to starve out. All right, a lot of you are going to, go out here and try to steal and you're going to get put to death. All right, a lot of shit's going to happen, man. It's going to be very chaotic times that's coming. And we got to have all our faith on Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Verse 3, therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion. That's right, man. Hey, that's beautifully said, man. You see? Yeah. So, yeah, y'all people that trusted in this American system, man, hey, that's why you're all confused. That's why you don't know what the fuck's going on. That's why you're coming on camera with looking like you've been crying for 2 hours with fucking makeup going down your face. Making a fool of yourself in front of the whole world, man, because you have trusted in Pharaoh, man. All right? You Israelites out here acting surprised that they fired you over Esau. Of course, man. Why are you surprised, man? And I'm not saying it's right. Clearly that's wicked, man, but you're surprised that your oppressor is wicked? You're surprised that the same people that damn near genocided the natives, the so-called Latinos, the same ones that were stomping on the heads of black babies during the transatlantic slave trade, lynching our people, the same people that now pretend to have the moral high ground, you seriously believe that those people were going to give you a fair shot? All right, and those are the people that you come up to our camp to defend, talking about, oh, we're wicked because we're racist, all right? But you want to save the devil. You want to save your oppressor. Yeah, a lot of you Israelites are going to have a change of heart soon, man, because Esau he's bringing them claws out, man. All right? This is Isaiah 33:6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. This wisdom and knowledge of the scriptures, man. This is the true wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, man. All right? That's going to be the stability of our times. That's what's going to keep us stable in the head, man. All right? It says in strength of salvation, the fear of the Lord, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai is his treasure. All right, this is our treasure, man, this truth. Okay? The fact that we know all these things are happening, why they're happening, how they're going to happen, and we have a good idea of when they're going to happen. Okay, and we know the solution to this devil ruling the earth is for him to be destroyed and the Lord returning. and we know the Lord is going to return. Okay, the fact that we have all this wisdom and knowledge about, and clarity, that's why the scriptures is called the light, so you can see. Okay, hey, we ain't worried, man. We ain't worried. All you people out there bugging out, hey, we knew this was going to happen. We know it's going to get worse. And we excited for it, man. Because at the end of the day, man, this ain't living. Y'all want to continue to do this shit forever? You're out of your goddamn minds, man. The Lord is flushing America down the toilet where it belongs. All right? And ultimately, once that ship is mandated, all right, very soon thereafter, America's going to get annihilated by thermonuclear destruction, and our Lord Yahushua is going to beam us up into the chariots and finish this place off, man. Then that kingdom's going to get set up here on the earth, which is a very beautiful thing, man. That's the good news, all right? And all these oppressors that are laying our people off, in an unfair manner, the same people that had us in slavery, that's got the whole world acting crazy with these wicked philosophies. Hey, Esau's going to pay for all his sins, and he's going into slavery, man. Just like he did to us, it's going to be done unto him. All right, so yeah, man, stay circumspect, Yasharallah. All right, these constant headlines that coming out, backing up what the scriptures are saying, man. Hey, these should be faith boosters, man. Just keep watch and keep praying, keep believing, staying in the faith. I pray you brothers and sisters endure to the end. I pray I endure to the end. And yeah, man, with that, I want to finish this lesson by giving all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rachakwarash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us His truth. And sincere shalom to the hopeful elect that's out there listening, learning, and or teaching. Shalom wa. Abad babal. Shalom.